Okay, a very good evening, dear esteemed viewer, and welcome to our today's edition of Citizens and the Law. Citizens and the Law is a program aimed at demystifying all issues, standing as strange before the gullible heads of persons in a simpler form. It is a program aimed at letting the citizens know their rights, defend these rights, and become law-abiding citizens. In our today's edition of Citizens and the Law, we are going to look at family control and the law. And I have with me here two gentlemen from the police force and from the bar. By my immediate right, I have a chief superintendent of police who is the DPO of Fege Police Station on Nature. And that is talking about CSP Rabiu Garuba. Sir, you are welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Yeah,
And the other end, I have a gentleman from Nigerian Bar, a legal practitioner. I am talking about Mr. Joseph Angante. Sir, welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
I am Jude Mascot Obiagu, the presenter of this very program. Like I said earlier, the topic for today is family control and the law. Family is just a group of people related by blood, marriage, law, and custom. Family abounds everywhere, all over the world. They have their different customs and laws. But here today, I'll just throw the question. They blend it down to our own pattern, to our own culture, tradition, things like that. So let us just get started. I'm starting from you, Counsel Angante. How would you define family? The question here is in law. In any other areas, you can't define family. Would you mind?
Yes, sir. Like you rightly said, family is a group of people, and most of the times, the father, the mother, and the children. And when you talk of family law, is those do's and don'ts, rules and regulations that you normally have in the family that guides the modus operandi of the people, just to ensure peace in the family. So in a very simple definition, that is what the family law is all about.
Chief Rabiu Garuba, I want to ask you the same question because you may have your own view of family definition in law. So how do you define it?
We have different type of family. We have extended family. We have nuclear family. But in this context, we are looking at the immediate family. Family is a group of people living together. So ones which include the father, mother, and the kids. These are immediate family. And by kinship, you can have some extension that maybe the members of the kindred and other distance relationship all can be considered as extended family. So, but when we say law, by definition, when we paraphrase the two, it's a set of rules and regulations that govern a particular setting. So family law are the rules, norms, values, folksway, customs that regulate a particular family institution on what to do and what not to do. So this is what we consider as family law as an institution.
Okay, within this family setting, there used to be problem of some men who goes outside there and have children, and some customs say that these children should not be members of their family. And when they come back, they used to rush to police stations to make some troubles. On the other hand, the stepmother issue, who is married into the family at the demise of the actual woman who happens to be the wife to the man. Under this situation, what does the law say as regards children born outside wedlock, brought home and imposed on the man, or brought home to the man because the tradition of where the person was born did not accept that person as their child? If such problem arises, how would the law look at it? Joseph Angante.
Yes, actually, We have so many customary laws that most of the times are very repugnant to natural justice. And when in customary law, for instance, there are things we consider first. The payment of a bride price. So if two persons, maybe a man and a woman, is living together and the bride price is not paid, in some communities, it is assumed that any child or children in such cohabitation, then the man in question may not have rights over those children. Remember I said in some communities.
Yeah.
Yes. And most of the times, this kind of rules are very repugnant because most of the times what you need to consider is the biological father of a child. And because of these rules or these customs, which most of the times if you go up there in the court will say is repugnant. And we have a way to say no to that. But in Igbo setting,
to imagine the outside, the boy to the family, or no to what?
They will say that for the fact that that child is born out of wedlock does not actually mean that the father cannot be the father.
Okay.
But some custom will say no. Having not paid, if any other man comes up to marry the same woman, then their custom may now say you have to take up the children. So that's the problem we're having. Not all the communities. It may be obtainable in Oka here, but in other communities you may not have such a thing. So it is causing a lot of problems. But the point I'm trying to make is that in any way you look at it, a child must be given a place. So if the father's side say no, then the mother's side will definitely give that child chance to live. Even some communities will not even allow the man who have been living with their sister or their daughter without paying the bride price to even take the children. Like in Oka here, they can't. Like Delta State and some other places.
Like in my town.
So if you don't pay the bride price, but you are the biological father of that child, they will just relax. Once the child is up, they will bring it to you. They bring the child to you. But in other places, they will retain the child and say, this child belongs to this family. And they will give whatever they need to give to that child.
Okay.
So that is where we're having problems. But most of the times, it has to do with customs of communities. So it depends on what the community is having as their custom. It differs from communities.
So, sir, I don't know if you have anything to say there. Particularly, I don't know if any such case have come to your station. I know it must have come.
You see, issue of customary law, these are things that are relative from one community to another. The custom, even despite the Anambra is Igbo-speaking community, you discover the custom of Inewi will be different from custom of Oka. So this customary law, they are equally source of our legal system. That is when we go to the formal side of it. This customary law undergo tests before it is being incorporated into our legal system. More especially, the council have emphasized on issue of repugnancy, incompatible and public policy tests. If the custom of a particular place is repugnant to a natural rule of justice, equity, and good conscience, such customary law should be considered void. So that is the test that the customary law undergo before it constitutes a part of our legal system. So if it is the public policy, they discover that the custom and tradition is very archaic, it is not going to give us a good result or development. Such customary law too are not incompatible tests. That is to say, where the customary law, it is not in tandem with the existing laws of the country, more especially like Constitution. So if we look at it like Constitution provided under Section 42, free from discrimination, So in whatever circumstances the child is brought out, maybe it's either through rape or whatever have you, that child has a right to stand contest and he don't need to be discriminated. And whoever discriminated, it is repugnant to Section 42 under Fundamental Human Rights. He can even go to court and seek for redress. Then at the same time, if you look at it by virtue of Section 1, subsection 3 of the Constitution, shows that Constitution is the most supreme to the all laws. So even if your customary law is coming up to say something, but it is not in line with the provision of the Constitution or existing law, such customary law should be void. Like, for instance, if I'm to digress a little, issue of Igbo customary law as a right to inheritance to land, that the female children in Alu community of Inewi, that a woman cannot inherit land. But I could remember in the case of Mojoku, where they go through and discover that it amounts to discrimination for the female ones not to have access to inherit from their parents. That shows that automatically they are all human beings. And nobody chooses gender at the point of their birth. So as a result of that, they are of equal chances, 50-50. And that becomes a locus classicus. And as it's a judicial proceeding, or we can say a ratio decidendi that bound court to follow now because it's a decision of the higher court or appellate court. So all the lower court have now looked at that principle as a standard to follow, that all women in Igbo community, that customary law, it is repugnant to the natural rule of justice, equity, and good conscience. So that is considered.
Let's follow this direction now. Sarah, you have brought something new again. Counsel,
yes,
this issue of denying female in the family rights of having a share of the property in the family when they are being shared. What do you have to say about it? What does the law say?
Yes, fortunately, some days ago, people came to my office and they're having the same problem.
Yeah.
There are 3 girls and 1 boy. And the guy has sold up to 2+ of their parents' property left for them. And I was able to try to let the boy know that the 3 sisters has the same right, that they have the right to get their own share. And the guy was telling me, it's not done anywhere. In our community here, it's not done. And like he said, even in Ukeje versus Ukeje, Supreme Court has said something on that, in accordance with Section 42, as he mentioned. So the point is that the law as it stands now is that females can partake in having share of their parents. Whether your custom is in support of it or not, the law now is that females, I don't know if our ladies, they are aware of that, but it is the law now. Then the question is, how many communities have actually implemented this? Because the guy was telling me, and again, if there's any sale by the board without the consent of other members, principal members of the community, that sale is void. Because they need to consent to it.
Sell?
Yes, sale of that property by the boy alone.
Okay.
Because that property is jointly owned. So these are the things we need to know in the family. And people are now moving around, saying, no, in our community, a woman cannot get anything. I laugh. So we're having this issue now, even in my office. So
okay.
That is the law.
Thank you very much, dear esteemed viewer. You are watching Citizens and the Law on ABS Television Channel 24 Oka. And I have with me here in the studio a Chief Superintendent of Police, Rabiu Garoba, DPO, Fege Police Station, and also a gentleman from the bar, Barrister Joseph Angante. It is happening live here on ABS Television, Channel 24, Star Times 113 and Metro Digital 29. We want to go on a short break now. We'll be right back. Thank you and welcome back. We were talking about sharing of properties in the family, whether the female members have any right or something of that nature. It does appear they have rights, though our people are not aware of that. Another aspect, because Chief Rabiu, you raised the point. Another aspect now is at times people want to sell their property. They want to sell their land with or without the consent of their family, and after they must have sold this land. The extended family, the homeowner, they will come to demand for commission. We are entitled to 20% of the sale. We are entitled to 10% of the sale. I want you, Council, to look at this thing from the angle of fundamental human rights and the freedom to personal life and property.
Yes.
What do you have to say about this?
Yes.
Is it right for somebody, after selling his property, goes out to give commission?
No, the point is that most of the times you have communal land that will...
This is not a communal land?
No,
it's
I'm
coming,
I understand.
Okay.
Then from communal land, it can now be moved down to kindred, then moved down to maybe siblings.
Yeah.
In such situation, sometimes there may be agreement. Within the that any moment you do this, we are going to remit this to maybe the general purse of the people. Once there is such agreement, then you can go ahead and be doing it. But once there's no such agreement, the moment that parcel of land is given to you and your siblings, then you have absolute power over it. Then the point is that you cannot alienate such property to third party without the consent of other principal officers of that family.
This is not a share somebody gets from a communal land. It is a land somebody acquires from the lineage as an inheritance.
Good. It's wrong. Most of the times you see people, if you get a land, you want to develop the land, the use of the community will come.
If, for example, you are the diokpala of your family, you are the first son of the family, when your father wants to die, he will call you and the rest members of the family, the male children, and give them portions of land, probably the female as well.
Yes.
Then, as time goes on, you have a problem, well, you don't have money from anywhere, you went out to borrow, no way. And maybe if you had a share of 3 plots of land, you want to sell 1 to meet up to your problem. And after the sale, some people will come and clamp on you to give them 10% commission.
It's wrong.
This is creating problem in various communities. That is why I asked the question from this program.
It's wrong.
It is not done.
It's wrong.
I don't know if Chief, do you have anything to say? Have you experienced this kind of thing?
The issue of contract are purely under tort civil matters. We at the police station, we deal with criminal matters. But issue of commission, percentage, contract is fall under civil liabilities. So in an event where they come to police station, we normally refer them to court to go and file their grievances and seek for redress or remedy.
Okay. Dear esteemed viewer, I think if you want to ask any question in Igbo language or in English language, you can call these numbers 090-729-72090. 090-729-72090. The other number is 070-627-24192. I repeat, 070-627-24192. If you don't get me well, you can see the numbers equally on the screen. And if you want to send us messages via our WhatsApp, you can do that on 090-232-734-84. I have to repeat this number slowly because it's not on the screen. 090-232-734-84. That's our WhatsApp. You can send their messages on this very number or to this number. We can get it and answer your questions still. Okay, we have a caller here. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, my brother. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Umuobu.
Umuobu. What's your name?
Yeah. I'm from Nampo.
Ephraim Wankwo.
Exactly.
Okay, Ephraim, you can ask your question in English or in Igbo language. You are free.
My major
Go ahead.
giving us a good signal.
Come again.
And we don't give.
Come
Your
again.
TV station is not giving us a good signal.
Oh.
The signal is very poor.
Well, you may have
The
to.
signal reception of your TV is very poor. So your technicians supposed to do a thorough job.
Okay. Thank you very much. What I want to tell you there finally is you may have to adjust your antenna very well.
Yeah.
We are also obtained from your Star Times. If you have Star Time, you can get us on 113 or Metro Digital 29. As regards the poor reception, automatically we are going to handle that. Our engineers are competent. They know what to do. So thank you very much, Ephraim. If you have any other thing to ask that has to do with our program, please, you may have to do that. Okay, we have another caller here. Hello? Hello. Your name and location?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, my brother. Your name and location? Go ahead. Your name and location. We are hearing you.
Okay, from Oruku.
Oruku, what's your name, my brother?
Carlo.
Carlo from Oruku.
Carlo from
Go ahead and ask your question.
I want to use Igbo.
Go ahead, you're free.
Okay, achọrọ m ịjụ na otu nwaanyị si eketa oke ala n'ebe nna ya, so ọ dịghị necessary.
Ị na-atụ alo ka ị na-ajụ ajụ?
So, ka amara ma ga-aza gị
Ajụjụ
asa.
ka m na-ajụ.
Ngwa gaa n'iru.
Ajụjụ ka m na-ajụ.
Ajụ ị na-ajụ, ọ dị mkpa ka nwaanyị na-ekete ana na be nna ya ma ekewe ana? Okay. Sagaraba, the question goes, let me do the translation. Is it necessary that the women should also get shares of parcels of land or share of properties when it's being shared in the family?
Yes.
The female members of the family?
Yes, they are entitled. They are entitled because you that marry your wife, she's contributory to your family. She that marry outside, she's contributory also to the person.
Okay.
So it's 50-50. They are all entitled. Either married or not, they are entitled. 50-50 with their male hold.
Ngwa Kalu gee ntị na ka lawyer na-ebe a onye Igbo.
My brother, ajụjụ ị jụrụ dị mma. Ife iwu kwuru bụ na ụmụ nwaanyị nwere right inwe iketa oke. So ọ bụrụ sị ife anyị na-ekwu na bụ ife our own custom na-ekwu omenala nke anyị. Nọ na anyị na-ekwu na ife a bụzi ife nọ na dịka iwu na Nigeria. Ọ bụ na isi na nwaanyị ama nketa oke, iwu gosi bụ discrimination. Ị na-akpachapụ akpachapụ.
Ị na-akpa oke.
Because maybe na nwaanyị ka ọ bụ ma ọ bụ na amụrụ ya out of wedlock na amụrụ ya ebe kwesịrị ịmụ. Ihe a niile dị ọ dị o nwere ka ọ dị because ị na-anya na section 42 of our constitution. So ifu na ọ dabachara onye ka Supreme Court ji n'anya na Ukeje versus Ukeje wee sị no na ụmụ nwaanyị kwesịrị ka na-ekenyefe oke. Sometimes ifukwa na nwaanyị nwere ike ọ bụ na ọ nụrụ di maka ọ bụrụ nwaanyị niile nwezi interest na ife na-aga na marriage na ụfọdụ ga-eje akụwa anya maọbụ akụwa isi. So ụfọdụ ụmụ nwaanyị asị kafa na ọ na-abịava then ekwesịrị ka ekenye ife ga-ekenye so that ọ bụ na ọ nọrọ onwe ife o ji eneta onwe ya anya. Ọ ife iwu Nigeria kwu. Thank you.
Okay. Nwanne m nwoke Kalu ama na ịghọta ife azaghị ọfụma. We have another caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah? Your name and location?
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel from Enugu. Okay, go ahead and ask your question. English or Igbo language.
I want to ask.
Yeah?
The family, the second son has the right to share his father's property, landed property.
Second son.
The second son are being deprived of their father's inheritance and something.
Does the second son have a right to the share of the father's property?
Yes, landed property.
Landed property.
According to Igbo tradition.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. If you come in terms of Igbo tradition, enwere ebe a na-enye nwoke, the first son, diokpara, you give him what we call obi. Then other members of the family will also have to get their own share. Then the last born will normally get the mother's mpuke.
That's after he must have received his own share.
Yes, and then that one, by right, or if area, then other landed properties, all the members of that family has right to have a share.
Including females.
Yes, all. That's why I say all, everybody.
Okay, I think you've heard him. They used to say that Diokpara has
DOB.
the foreholder inherits the obi and the surrounding land.
Yes.
As the father has been using. But to answer his question, you are saying that the second son has a right to share.
Not even only second son, every member of that family. Apart from this lion share, because I would call that to be...
Including the...
lion share.
The chief Garuba,
including the female, they can inherit their ancestral land.
That is it. That is the law.
The female will marry outside.
Yes, that is the law.
Okay. All right, now, to what extent can parents have custody and control of their children? To what extent can parents have custody and control of their children?
I don't know.
Let's pick this call.
Okay.
Hello? 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 Yeah, your name and location. Hello, we are hearing you. What's your name and location? Okay, there is a network problem. You might have to call back.
Okay, I understand what you were saying. In a family institution, more especially, we practice patriarchal descent, that patriarchal ideology. In an ideal family, the father is the head of the family and is to be in custody of the wife and the children, since we are discussing immediate familyhood. So they are to live like that. And under section 300 and 301 of the Criminal Code law is a duty of the father to provide necessity to all members of the family, be it the wife and be including the children. And under penal code law, under substantive law of the northern Nigeria, there's what is called moderate correction. The father is in position to correct the wife and the children, but not into the way and manner that will cause some violence. So that is the position. The father is the head of the family because we practice patriarchal ideologies. But in an event where trouble ensued between the two, maybe issue of separation or divorce, the court may look at who is competent among the two.
Please let us know if you can get this caller. Hello? Hello?
Yes, I'm asking a question.
Your name and location?
Yes, Okonkwo, Amaka.
Amaka Okonkwo, from where?
From Oka.
Okay, go ahead, Amaka, and ask a question.
I want to know if a married woman can get share from the father's side, and at the same time get his share from the husband's side. Is this true? Is this applicable?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it is true. It is true because the one with your husband is like your property because this is what you jointly possess with your husband. Under matrimonial act, if you declare your property before the marriage and your husband declares personal property, those ones are excluded. But if you didn't declare anything that was obtained during the continuance of the valid marriage, that property becomes a family property. That's why there's no stealing between husband and wife of a Christian marriage. The two is one. Even you don't have to go to work, you take care of other supportive responsibility, like taking care of the children at home, and it's going to market. So whatever you people acquire, it is a community property between you and your husband, so you are entitled. Then for your husband, for your father's side, in terms of inheritance, since you are brothers too, either they are married or not, whether you are married or not, you are entitled to your father's property, either you are married out or not.
Well, maybe the family from where she comes may have finished with sharing of the property before the Supreme Court approval.
That goes to what I just said earlier, that some communities will be bragging and saying, no, this is not our custom. Fortunately, the story I just told now is coming from Okahi.
Yes, the law.
And if they should go to court, the court will give the person his or her right.
That is what I'm saying. The story I just told is coming from Okahi. And some members of the family is just telling the boy, you are the owner of all these things. The parents are dead already. Yes. But I have 3 sisters. Yes. I was trying to let him know that this is the Supreme Court judgment.
Excuse me. Hello? Hello? Go ahead, counsel.
So the point is, every member of the family, whether male or female, has a right.
Yeah.
We need to tell our people, we need to bring this to their knowledge. Because some ladies, yes, some of them don't even know this.
So they have a right.
And some members of the community, they don't even know this. Because the person I was talking about, the members of the family, they were kind of telling him, even if it gets to court, if they serve you any process, get it. There's no way court will now
go there and
ask these
testify
ladies.
customarily.
Yes, we'll go there and
when
testify and tell the court.
When the Supreme Court judgment is there.
That's in our car community.
As a principle.
And the court will be ready to tell them that
the court
it is not so.
Yes,
of course.
It's their duty
Hello?
to interpret law.
Hello? Hello, good evening.
Hello, am I on to ABS?
Yeah. You're on to ABS, channel 24. Please, your name and location, then your question.
Am I on to ABS?
Yes, my brother, you're on to ABS. Ask your question, but tell us your name and location.
I'm also Cyprian.
Cyprian?
Hello. Hello, am I on to ABS?
Yes. You're on to ABS. What's your name and location?
Okay. I'm from Enugu.
Okay, what's your name and location?
I'm calling from Enugu. Cyprian.
Okay, Cyprian from Enugu.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead, Cyprian, and ask your question.
Please, I want to ask if in a situation where there is a commercial building owned by a family, how would
Lost that?
Okay.
Cyprian, there seems to be a network problem.
I got the angle is coming.
But you get what he rightly said.
He said, what of where you have a commercial transaction in a family? So what's the question of that? And the point there, the law is that the principal
Let's know if he's calling back. Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Your name and location?
Hello?
What's your name and location? Tune down the volume of your TV set. Tune down the volume of your TV set so that we can hear you. But not that volume TV. Can you feel it? Okay, that question of Cyprian.
So if there's a transaction in a family, maybe a transaction of family land, the law provides that the principal members of that family will have to consent to it. In each family, you have members of each unit.
And the head.
The heads of the units. So these members must consent to that cell before it is done. Even the head of the family has no absolute right to sell,
so without
sell
consultation.
without the consent of others. So any cell that is short of this is a nullity.
Okay. There was this question I asked about.
Yes, the extent of
the extent
custody.
to which parents could have custody and control of their children.
So as I was saying, in ideal situation, the father is the person who is supposed to be in control of the wife and the children. But in a situation where there is some dialectical issue, conflict between them, which lead to separation or divorce, then the court will look at who is competent among the two. If it is the father that is competent to take care of the children, or if it is the mother that they feel she is competent, then the children will be directed to that side. But then in an event where they are kept in mother's custody, the father has to provide all necessity. It is his duty. Failure to do that, it is criminal offense under section 300 and 301 of the Criminal Code law. So the court are the people that will now look at it. This family, is the mother have the capacity? But if the mother has some problem, like she's a prostitute or she has issue of insanity, we cannot expose the children to moral danger. And that is to say, the court will now get place where such children will be kept. That's why some are taken to Boston School, Reformatory School, and etc.
Okay, hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, your name and location. Your name and location. Good evening. Good evening. Your name and location.
Hello?
Hello, we are hearing you.
Friday coming from Umuobu.
Friday from Umuobu. Go ahead and ask. Yeah, we've had you Friday from Umuobu. Ask your question Friday.
Yes.
Ask your question Friday in English or Igbo.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Ganiru. Hello.
Hello.
It's ụmụnne ịtọ o nwere ike ike nwe ofu ana. Okay.
I think we have been saying this. The point is that actually, let's go down to Igbo now, because that is the problem. Yes, my brother. If I know,
sir, I hope you are hearing him.
Yes, what we are saying, if I know now, uno de tre we land, then unknown dosalun where happen. Uno chan will equal right to that property. If by any means, when any of the members, the 3 members, without the consent of others, that sale is a nullity. So, if I know about Ulu, Maganandi cause on in a J challenge and a court gas in DJ will ego which you don't in a lego. So, for you to sell that land, then the consent of other members have to be obtained. You get another their consent. Before unele. That is the position of the law.
See, Chief Rabiu, in a family of 3 boys, they jointly own either a land or more, and one of them, either he is so big and powerful, one means or the other, through intimidation or physical intimidation or any form of intimidation, goes ahead to sell this land without the consent of the other 2, or 2 may connive without the consent of the other one. That's what the lawyer just answered now. Do you have your own side of the response?
As you rightly say, it's just like having a business. We are running a business, 3 of us on a car or a commercial bus. For 2 to sell without the consent of another person and misappropriate the money to their own use, it's a clear case of stealing. So it's a bad one.
It's a clear case of stealing.
Yeah,
Of course.
Okay, now on this issue of
Then
parents'
you were
custody
talking
and
about,
control of their children.
Custody, yes.
So-
You asked a question on that yesterday. The point is that from the age of 0 till 18, parents has a right to take care of their children. And if anything happened to the child at that moment, then parents can bring action against the third party. But the moment that person is maybe
Exceeds the age.
above 18 years,
Yeah.
he can now take decision on his own and do some certain things on his own. Whether he's still living in the compound or not, maybe living outside. But within that period, from age of 0 to 18, parents can say, do this. They can say, don't do this. They can determine what should be done. And in terms of custody, in Oti versus Oti, the court was of the opinion that the welfare of the child is paramount. So even if the father is well-to-do, but is a busy man, always busy, the court cannot go ahead and say the child will live with the father. So the court will have to look at the nature of your work. If two of you are working, the court will still look at the nature of the work and say, this person is actually less busy. And if the court look at two of you are very busy to the extent that the child is not being taken care of, they can now order that such child can be taken to a third party to be looked for.
It can be a boster.
So they can take such individual
Can
to
be a reformatory
yes, and say, stay here.
Let's get this
Two of you
fella.
can go on with your business.
Let's know if we can get this person. Hello? 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 Okay, we'll have both of them. Chief Rabi, do you have anything to say further on that?
Issue of this, I'm going to look at the issue of vicarious liability because you are duty bound to take care of the child, custody, train him, guide him on what to do and what not to do. If by so omission, if omission comes from you, which makes this child to suffer something, you being the father or the mother, you will be liable. So that's why if the children committed, sometimes their parents are involved because they are still under their care and custody. So, but when the child is 18, we believe is an adult, is criminally liable. So whatever he do,
18 or 19?
18 and above is an
But in
adult.
English law is
21 years.
21.
But
in
then
our
in
law,
our
yeah,
own law, 18,
it's
you are
18.
an adult. So you have to carry your damn consequences of whatever action.
Yeah, damn
Exactly,
consequences.
exactly.
Let's know if we can get this caller. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Good evening. Your name and location?
Hello?
You are on to ABS Channel 2 for Oka. Good evening. And then from Akusu, what's your name and location? We've lost the gentleman from Akusu. Hello? Okay. We don't have much time remaining for us, but if we can quickly address this a little, can you enumerate, counsel, on the legal rights of a father to the custody and services of his child?
Yes, like we rightly said, we've actually touched that side.
I think
he has a right.
We've spoken well.
Yes, he has a right to take some decisions on the necessaries. We call it necessaries in law. Those minor things you have to provide.
Okay. Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Good evening. Your name and location.
Hello?
We are hearing you. Your name and location.
I'm calling from Mama.
Okay. Tune down the volume of your TV. Tune down the volume of your TV. What your TV? Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah. Good evening.
Hello?
Yeah, good evening. Your name and location. Could I find ABC Abo? Hello, we are hearing you. What's your name and location? Huh? Raymond from Enugu. Hello? Hello? Okay. We may have a cut two of this very program. What does the law say about the legal rights of consortium in marriage? The legal right of consortium in marriage, Council?
Okay. Actually, consortium are those rights and duties the parties in marriage owe each other. And there are a lot of those duties and rights. And like protection, yes, they owe each other the duty to protect each other. Even when there's a third party trying to harm the other party of the marriage, you have it as a duty to protect. Then in terms of sexual intercourse, it's a duty also that two of you do it in a way that none of you will complain. And in that, for the fact that you are the husband.
I want us to agree that we are coming back here next week, Monday, to do a cut two of this program.
Because the area we are entering now is very interesting.
Yes, because we are coming back to do cut two of this. So there is esteemed viewer, this is where we call it a day. I draw the curtain in our today's edition of Citizens and the Law. The topic has been family control in law, and the two powerful guests here in the studio has been the DPO of Fege Police Station, a Chief Superintendent of Police in the person of Rabiu Garba. Sir, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, and I want to say a very big thank you to a legal gentleman from Nigerian Bar. I'm talking about Barrister Joseph Angante Council. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I am your humble presenter in this very program. My name is Jude Mascot Obiagu, saying very big thank you. We are coming back again with cut two of this family problem in law. Thank you until then. Bye for now.